Hi everybody, Suzanne Lyons here, and welcome back. We are tip number 11. Can you believe it? We're almost done. Oh my gosh, this series, for those of you who are thinking, what do you mean, Suzanne? I've been watching your 10-tip series for a year. Well, this one is 12 tips, and it's on fundraising. How do I raise the money for my feature film? And that seems to be the number one question. Honestly, I do speak engagements all the time still around town, here in LA and well everywhere, and that is still the number one question. How do I raise money? So I could probably give you, 1,000 tips because I love this topic. It's one of my favorite topics, but I've narrowed it down to 12, and I've had some great speakers come in, as you know, guests who've joined me here, and in the industry, other producers. And so hopefully you've been enjoying certainly their advice and their suggestions on how to entice and excite and enroll investors into playing with you and coming on board for your projects. The one that I wanted to talk about today actually is another guy, a gentleman that I interviewed for my book. You know that I have a bunch of different things that I do. Obviously, my newsletter and these YouTubes and my Facebook page called Outrageous Strategies. Outrageous Strategies is great. I kind of put a few tips in there, so I'm always kind of giving away these great tips. But it's not just me. Sometimes I need to get ideas from lots of other people. Just like in my book that you guys have seen, Indie Film Producing, on Chapter 13, the whole chapter is me interviewing people from the industry on ways, other producers, on ways that they have distributed their film, alternative ways of distribution, and in some cases on ways that they have raised the funding for their film. So it's very, very interesting, Chapter 13. And this one gentleman who I really admired, I have since invited him to be on panels. I'm a very big fan, I have to tell you. JC, and I know I'm not going to pronounce the name properly, Calciano. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And here's what he did. Couple things that I want to share with you that JC did to get his investors kind of excited and feeling also not just excited and enrolled, but also confident that they could have that possibility of getting their money back. And that's a difficult one in this industry. Well, like any industry that you invest in, it's always a difficult thing to ensure somebody gets their money back. In fact, we can never really say ensure that get their money back because you always have to mention risk in every conversation, verbally and on paper, constantly. But here's what he did that kind of gave you that extra level of confidence and comfort and security as a potential investor in his projects. Is he started a year in advance, or maybe even before a year in advance, it was quite a while, doing a very inexpensive web series kind of based on the movie that he was wanting to do. And he had, I'm not kidding, millions of fans, not just thousands, millions. He did incredible work and marketing on this series where he was making sure that people were coming and watching. So already he's got people that are going to want to buy that DVD or VOD or whatever when the time came for the movie. So that, for me, if I was an investor, that would give me certainly a feeling of security that there's going to be people buying this movie, even if it doesn't go the regular route of distribution, if it's the alternative distribution online and he does it himself, I feel confident as an investor. But he went a step beyond, and he took one of the elements from his movie, an app that was actually going to be in the movie, and he created that early on as well. And I think the voice of the app actually is Morgan Fairchild, I'm pretty sure. He is very, very creative, very innovative guy. So as this producer, to impress the potential investors, he had this idea of creating and designing an app that was going to be part of the movie. And that was another way that they could look forward to getting their money back, because this was this thing that was going to be selling, in a sense, separately from the movie, and that they were involved in that as well. It's kind of like on one of the projects that I was working on, Omar the Camel, where I was offering a percentage of the CD that was going to go along with it, should the CD be made, and also even of the merchandising, should we be able to make some dolls and various aspects of it to go along with the camel and the little boy and stuff like that, and board games and everything. The investors were part of that. So that's kind of where I'm sharing a little bit about JC. He kind of had that same sense of, what do I do besides just the regular? And nowadays with the internet and with the wherewithal that we have, with the iPhones, with such a potential visual display everywhere around us that he could use, which is not terribly expensive. What could he do to excite and enroll and entice investors into coming on board and playing with him? So that's it. I thought that was absolutely brilliant, what JC did, and I just wanted to share that with you today. That was tip number 11. Once again, thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next Friday for tip number 12, our final tip of this particular series. Thanks, everybody.